Another secret to clean pipe band drumming is stuck in 2 simple strokes, and I'll show you exactly how they work together at the end of the video. Honestly, once you understand how these strokes work, it's sort of like unlocking 4K ultra resolution blah 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 for your hands. So I'm trying something different today with regards to how I lay out my videos, so please bear with me. But we'll break down into a small deep dive into why these strokes matter. And it basically comes down to the fact that you've got same hands, same sticks, same pad, but when you don't focus on these strokes versus when you do, you've got completely different sounds that come off the drum. The downstrokes control your volume and the upstrokes control your setup for your next downstroke. And these are sort of the difference between okay and very good drumming. So let's look at the downstroke. What is a downstroke? It's basically just a controlled accent. So grab your sticks. I don't know if you can see me there. Grab your sticks and let's get into this. So just try a downstroke with me. The sort of mechanics behind it is you start high, you end low, and you make sure that there's not too much of a rebound when you play. So a normal downstroke would be sort of like
I promise, like, and even it's been a weird these
very swift motion. And you need to make sure that you keep it down to set up for the next tap. And why do we use these? So it gives us a sense of volume control. We're not just hitting the stick anywhere and everywhere and hoping that it will produce the volume that we're wanting. It also helps with the shape of your phrasing. So playing something loud sort of just gives you more shape and more setup into your softer notes, but also gives you a lot more controlled volume on your accents. And when you're playing in a chord, it also just gives you visual clarity. And just make sure that when you catch the rebound that you don't kill it and you don't let it bounce out of control. There's no point in that. And then here's just a quick drill. So grab your sticks. What we'll be doing is a down tap drill. So a downstroke and then 4 taps. And then on the left. And make sure to practice these with a metronome. Once you get comfortable with that, then go from playing 4 to 3, 4 to 3 to 2, and then 1. Now let's look at the upstroke. What is an upstroke? The upstroke is basically just your preparation stroke. It helps you set up for your next movement. And the basic mechanics to this is that you start low, you have a tiny tap, and you bring your stick up. Sort of like a swan neck movement. So this sets your height up for the next accent, and it's basically your stick going,
hold up, I'm getting ready to look absolutely dynamic as hell.
So why do we use it upstroke? It keeps things steady and it also helps you make your phrasing a lot more smooth. And for this, as you've guessed, we'll be doing an upstroke and 3 taps. And make sure not to lift your stick too early or too late. These also generally help with difficult phrases as you get on into drumming. So like for example tap flams, where you play a right tap and then a right flam and a left tap and a left flam. So if we look at something simple like 3/4, standard 3/4 beatings, where you've got the middle bit where you play. Within that phrase, there are quite a number of times you need to use an upstroke and downstroke. Setting up on that flam is an upstroke, and as you play the flam, it's a downstroke. And the same on the other flam. Setting up with an upstroke, hitting the flam with a downstroke. And if you think about it, yes, these strokes are technically opposites, but they actually complement each other quite a lot, especially with flam movements, for example. Showing that flow helps you a lot with your musicality and phrasing when you're playing. And that's the secret. The downstroke gives you control, and the upstroke gives you preparation. And together they shape your entire sound. They shape every dynamic you play, every bit of light and shade you play within a phrase. That's all because of up and down strokes. If your bandmates suddenly ask you,
"Oh, why does your playing sound so much better and so much more musical?"
don't share this video with them. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for next week's final episode of Technique Tuesday.